Hello everybody and welcome to this video about how to build your Pro Suite Dalton Workspace. It is pretty easy and this workspace will be composed of four charts. We're going to have a market profile chart, a 30-minute. We're going to have a daily chart. We're gonna have a weekly as well as a monthly chart, all on the screen. So it's going to be easy because when you install your Pro Suite software on your PC, it also installed all the templates that you need. So you just have to apply the templates. So first of all, what we have to do is we have to create the first chart. Before that, under the workspace, you're gonna have to create a new workspace. So you click on workspaces from the Ninja Trader 8 control center, and right at the bottom right, you have a new button there. You just had it. All right. And from there, you give the name of your workspace. I would recommend that you call it Pro Suite Dash and the symbol of your instrument that you intend to trade. Let's say, for example, I'm going to build a crude oil Dalton workspace, so I'm going to call that Pro Suite Dash CL. I click on OK. And now if I go under workspace, you can see now that the Pro Suite CL workspace has been created, and this is the active workspace. All right, so now we have to create our four charts. First of all, we're going to create the market profile chart. So we're going to click on New Chart. Here I'm going to select CL 1217. Okay, here what we have to consider from that data series window is only a few things. The first is the data series there. So the price based on has to be set to last. The type for the market profile chart is going to be minute. And the value, just make sure that for the market profile chart, it is set to 30. Now we have to consider also the time frame. Just make sure that the load data based on is set to days. And the days to load for the market profile chart is set to 25 as default. That's the number of days to load that I suggest. And that's it. You don't touch anything else on that window. So you just have to consider the data series there, and under the time frame, the days to load and the load data based on days, and that's it. The only thing that you have to add is the template. So for that, you go right at the top of the data series window, and you see the load template only. So you choose for the market profile. The CL is the energy future, so I'm going to choose the energy futures template. And for the market profile, I'm choosing the energy futures market profile. So once I had that, I just click on OK, and it's going to create for me the market profile chart. Obviously, just make sure that you are connected here. You have a connection. Okay, so here is the chart for the market profile. I'm gonna put this chart. It's gonna take a good part of the space because this is my main chart that I'm looking when I'm trading. So it's going to be put here right on the left part of the screen. All right. Now, the next charts that we will have to create is the daily chart. So you click on New Chart. Here I'm going to select again the CL, my product. And for the day chart, I'm going to choose a minute and 1440 as value. Because for some data provider, like Kinetic, for example, there's a problem displaying the day pit session only chart. So if you put minute and 1440, it's going to be good for all data provider, and it's going to show the pit session chart, day chart. So on the data series, price based on last type minute, value 1440. Under the time frame, you load data based on days always, and the days to load, we're going to change that to 100 days because I need a little bit more days for the day chart than for the market profile. But it is only a suggestion. It is the same thing for the market profile chart. The default is 25, but you can set it to 50 if you want. Same thing for the day chart here. The default that I choose is 100. And I go right at the top here to apply the template. So I go down to the energy futures day chart. And I click on OK. And I have now the day chart. The day chart, usually I put the day chart right in the middle of my screen. Like that. All right. So now we're going to go to the next chart, which will be the weekly chart. So same process, click on New Chart. I'm going to choose CL. And now under the data series there, price based on last type, now it's going to be week. Value will be set to 1. And under the time frame, load data based on days. And days to load by default, it is set to 1825 for the weekly chart. You can leave it this way. That's good. That's the number I'm using. So now we go up to the load template, and now we're gonna set the energy futures long-term chart for the weekly chart, and I click on OK. There it is. Here we have the weekly chart, and I'm gonna put the weekly chart on the right side of the screen, about like that. I leave a little bit of space below for the monthly chart, and I'm gonna have my 4 charts. So we're gonna create the monthly chart, same principle. CL, now instead of week, the type is going to be month. Value is set to 1. Load data based on days, and days to load, by default, it puts 5475 for monthly charts. You can leave it this way, but me personally, I prefer to set the same number as days for the monthly chart as for the weekly chart. So I put at 1825. It's up to you. Now, on the top here to load the template, I'm gonna choose energy futures long-term chart for the monthly chart also, and I click on OK. And that's as simple as that. I'm gonna put this monthly chart right at the bottom there. So here I have my Dalton Workspace created. It is as simple as that. Now I'm noticing here that I don't have all the information I need on my day chart, because once when you create your workspace for the first time, all these charts communicate together, and there can be a conflict when you create the workspace for the first time. So once the workspace is created, what you have to do is that you click on Workspace, ProSuite CL. This is the workspace name that I gave it. I can save the workspace right here, there with the Save button, or you can just close it, and you're going to have a message telling you if you want to save your workspace, and you click Yes. Okay, now the workspace is closed. When you reopen your workspace now, it should work fine, and the daily chart's going to be updated properly. So you have four chart for the Dalton workspace: the market profile, the daily, the monthly, and the weekly. They all communicate together. This is the way I like to have my setup for trading. You can add entry order window there for trading, but mainly this is the way that we create Dalton workspace. Here I have created a workspace for CL. I have used the energy templates, but you can if you want to have, for example, ES, E-mini S&P, you're going to use the stock futures template. If you want to have a stock, you're going to use the stock ETF template, and the currencies is going to be the currencies template, currencies futures template. So it should apply when you have an instrument into an asset class. It should work properly. The only thing that you may have to tweak a little bit would be the setting for Dalton tails, forex stream, and the decimal. So maybe you will have to tweak that, but and maybe not. It should work across all asset class. So that's about it for how to build a Dalton Workspace video. Thank you very much for watching, and good trading.